Hi, I'm Sandy with Lightning Tools, and I'm here again with Brett. How are you?
Yeah, doing really well. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, not bad at all. So how's
Great.
things your end?
Very good. Rainy today. Cold and rainy. Yeah,
Oh,
cold. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was going to say how is cold in Florida?
70 degrees.
Hmm.
That's my weather report for today. Yeah. My daughter says they're getting a foot of snow tomorrow, meanwhile.
So we're low 50s, but I was actually thinking that that's quite warm. So there we go.
Sure, it feels nice. Anyhow, you're just back from Seattle, a visit to the mothership, right, for MVP Summit, which I know you can't say anything about really, but can you say what you can say?
Yeah. I think yeah. First of all, really fantastic week. It's great to be back there in person. I know the MVP Summit was actually back in person last year, but it was fairly short notice. Yeah, I just couldn't make it happen. But yeah, it was great to go this year and just realized how much I'd really missed a lot of the people in the community. There was, so many amazing personalities there, and just within the first 5 minutes, it was like doing squats because I was sat down ready for the keynote, and I kept sort of standing up to see people that I hadn't seen in a long time. So yeah, it was really amazing to see those people. But sessions as well. Yeah, the product team just did a great job, not just on one product, but seeing what they're doing with the SharePoint framework, with SharePoint in general. I know some of those things are pushing out at the moment. That I did see, but equally, yeah, throughout Teams and with Copilot and so on, there's some exciting things to come. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I
And
bet there might have been some mention of Copilot. Was that
a little bit.
was there like a Copilot bingo going on or drinking game or anything?
Let's just say it's a good job there wasn't a drinking game because I probably wouldn't live to tell this tale. So yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of mention about Copilot, and interestingly, I think that has sort of sparked the idea of the conversation today.
Yeah.
And as the people that watch this, yeah, both of our mothers, yeah, the people that watch this may be aware, obviously, that we have a permissions tool called DeliverPoint, and that's a product that helps site owners and also site collection admins, SharePoint admins, and so on to be able to report and manage permissions more effectively. So there's certain areas that that really covers off, and we just did a webinar on this yesterday as well. So that's up on our website, lightningtools.com. Click onto webinars, and you'll see the webinar recording if you're interested in diving deeper. But yeah, it's some of those things that as a site owner. When it comes to reporting on permissions, it's just such a challenge for those site owners because these people are not necessarily going to be IT people, and even if they were, it's still time consuming to report and manage permissions and sharing links on folders, a folder at a time or a file at a time, and it's just almost impossible when you've got hundreds of thousands of folders inside a document library. And then the same thing is amplified for SharePoint admins. So where do you even begin to try to govern permissions without a permissions tool inside of SharePoint and Teams and OneDrive and so on as well? So when you're being asked to report on this information, for auditing purposes and what have you, it's nigh on impossible. So Microsoft has actually started to address that. This isn't NDA. This is out in the public. You'll find that there's some uh, data access governance tooling that's coming along with SharePoint Premium. So it is just SharePoint Premium. But with SharePoint Premium, you'll be able to schedule some reports and schedule them for the site owners to say, here's the current state of your permissions, and you could target certain sites with a lot of people permissioned, or overuse of certain groups or something along those lines, and bring that to their attention. But here is the challenge, that you could bring all of that to their attention, but then they've still got to go through and fix it, where that means still going folder by folder or file by file to actually go through and make changes to those permissions, which again is an almost impossible task. So, but it's good to see Microsoft, heading in that direction and helping people. So yeah, with DeliverPoint, you do get that integrated experience. Site owners can not just report on the permissions, but they can manage them as well. They can do that from within the actual reports, as we spoke about last time. And then from a IT perspective, you can report and manage permissions in bulk. You can span multiple sites, multiple site collections, and so on. And as you'll see in our webinar recording, we've made some great improvements for the performance with scheduling permission reports. So you can really go for very large scopes and get the reports that you need, and then be able to change them as well, not just report on them. You can actually make changes from within the report to tidy up those permissions also. But how this all links with Copilot is interesting. So Sandy, have you played with Copilot, seen much of Copilot so far?
Just a little bit. I mean, for example, I think they're calling it a Copilot now, that had been Bing Enterprise for briefly. But how that kind of thing can bring back information from within your organization. This kind of reminds me of when Microsoft released Delve, and so many people were very anxious, and in some cases rightly so, about what people were seeing in Delve as far as documents and things like that were related to them. And it's always only, same with Copilot, and it's always only things that you have permission to see, but people are often surprised at what people actually do have permission to see. And so, it's a similar case of getting things in order prior to rolling that out. In this case, you have a choice, I think.
And that point was actually made as well, that how is this concern any different to search? And I think if you just consider that for a moment, that if you're searching for something, if I was to, I don't know, search for some employee information or something like that, and there was information that was served from the human resources site, I might think logically, I better not open that. Because this document is it's confidential. It may be marked as confidential and so on. Just because I have permissions to see it and it's been served to me through the search results, I probably better not open it up. Especially if it's not just about me, it may be about a colleague or something like that. In the same way that people are usually encouraged not to discuss salaries or anything personal. Person to person, taking technology out of it is just something that's not done. But when it comes to a GPT prompt and you're asking a direct question, it can serve you with a response that's usually going to be within a sentence or something like that.
Right. That's true.
And it might serve you with some information that you should not be privy to, and then it's kind of too late. I've just read it. I can't unsee it. And I think that's the concern there. It's not I'm no longer making a decision as to whether I should open this or not. It's actually just replied to me. May not be the answer that I was expecting to see. It may have misunderstood my question, so I could be completely innocent in this. I'm not exactly typing in, what is Sandy's salary, which would be obvious. It may just be, can you tell me something about Sandy? Who's Sandy? And who knows? It might just actually return some information that I shouldn't know, and that could be just to misconfigured permissions in something like the HR site. Somebody's accidentally shared with anyone, which is not a difficult thing to accidentally do. I know, when you go to share a folder with somebody, it's now really sort of defaulting to anyone, unless you actually put somebody's name in there. It's creating an anyone link. So that could be, an oversight, or if you actually add an everyone group or whatever, that information is now going to be available. And Copilot is running within the context of you as the current user, so it may serve that information as a response to a question that you're asking. And so I think it is a big concern, and what to do about that. We've got this in some cases a mountain to climb to make sure that those permissions are accurate and we're not oversharing, which is the key thing. So oversharing content, and the content sprawl itself is challenging when people are creating endless folders and endless content, maybe not in the right places, because there's that concern too, that somebody may create a document and upload it to the wrong library, another library that they have access to, and that library is within a site where maybe everyone is permissioned, or other people are permissioned that shouldn't be permissioned for, and to see that document. So yeah, I think there's real concerns about it, and it's not just the site permissions, it's down to those folders and subfolders also,
and items, right? Yeah, so probably an organization might want to start with their most confidential sites and really audit the permissions there. But as you say, if somebody who does legitimately have access to one of those sites puts a confidential document in some other place, then that's going to be a little hard to find too. But
yeah, absolutely. So another problem here is that, okay, we could look at this as an IT problem. We want to roll out Copilot, and IT's got to therefore govern the permissions. So yeah, they could use permissions tool. But here's another bigger question: is that I know this has come up for us this week, where we were looking at some of the guest accounts that we were cleaning up inside of our own tenant, and I'm a tenant administrator, or I have access to the tenant administrator account. I'm looking at these, and
right.
So okay, well, I don't know who these people are, and I don't want to just go ahead and delete them because I don't know why they're in there in the first place. So who put them in there? We don't know. So this is then a challenge down to the site owner, because IT doesn't have that in-depth knowledge of every single department and who they've shared the content with, which may be for legitimate reasons, may be required for the business, for that content to be shared with them. So the emphasis really does have to be on the site owner. We can't make decisions for the head of HR. HR needs to make those decisions as to who's got access to their content, and they need the tools to be able to do that. And that's exactly what DeliverPoint can do. So when you're in that HR site, you can report and manage the permissions and know confidently that these are as they should be. And there's no way that anybody or Copilot is going to respond with anything that they shouldn't be privy to seeing. And I think that's absolutely critical to arm the site owner with that type of tool.
Yep, great, absolutely.
But I guess a mic drop moment.
So the moral of the story is, go to our website, download a trial of DeliverPoint, and see what permissions you may be surprised about in your own tenant. You can do that free for 30 days with our tech support, and then I think you'll find that that will be a tool that your site owners can use going forward to keep on top of that. Yeah,
absolutely. I think you're absolutely correct. So fantastic. Well, again, the webinar is there as well. Take a look at the webinar, download the trial if you want to, or click onto the book a demo link on our website. We'll be happy to discuss this specifically with your organizations and how you want to use a permissions management tool. We can discuss about the challenges that you're facing as well, and see how we can help you out.
Great. All right. Thanks very much. And
no
I'll
worries.
see you next time.
Sounds good. Thanks, Sandy.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.